Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are currently working on getting our budget a little bit more balanced again. Of course, we have a few investments that we're working on first. I say a few. We have kind of a lot. It's definitely a lot. What is this? Diplomatic play here. We're not actually interested in that. So we're going to decline. Now, we are running a slight deficit in our bureaucracy, and I would like to bring Minas Gerais up to its economy of scale cap. So that will be absolutely fine here. How long will that take to construct? 9 weeks? Okay, yeah, that's not a problem. So that looks good, and we're a bit negative on our authority right now. We're definitely seeing our radicalism creeping up a bit too. But that is mostly due to Laissez-faire, and honestly, Laissez-faire is probably pretty good for us. But we would like to get most of the way through this construction first, or at least a decent chunk of the way through. Melanesian people are migrating from New South Wales to Uruguay. Okay, that sounds good. We could definitely use some additional population. No doubt about that. We just got Bolivia integrated, of course, and we're continuing to work on the fallout on that. And that'll be absolutely fine. Now, our taxes are incredibly high right now because we have arc welding. And arc welding is very expensive. We knew that would be the case. We're working on getting our economy to a point where it can support it, but that's going to take a little time. Speaking of taking a little time, our infamy. That's going to be decaying for a little while here. But our timing is, I think, not looking amazing at this moment. Let's get these government administrations finished in 3 weeks, and that will be a step in the right direction. Balinese people are migrating. I like it. And we can see that we have 21K in unrealized taxes right now. That's understood. The Citizens Association, huh? I mean, honestly, plus 5% qualifications seem decent. Standard of living expectations from literacy, I mean, yeah, that'll be a thing. Cool, so now we're positive in our bureaucracy. That looks great. I'm wondering what our market looks like, and we should probably do something about our production methods at some point too. So our market situation is about where it's been, to be honest. This isn't so bad. Clothing is a bit rough, but let's go through, and this is going to possibly create some issues here. But I want to go through and unify all of our production methods. So let's see what that does. We're immediately seeing a shortage of radios. Okay, so a shortage of radios and a shortage of ironclads right off the bat. Okay, so let's go in here, and we're going to go into our shipyards. I'd like to be on arc-welded steamships at this point, and that will be fine, I think. Capital ships would be ideal here, and yeah, that sounds decent. That's probably going to create a shortage of, yeah, man-o-wars. So we're going to need to have some man-o-wars production still. We have a market balance of minus 174. Okay, so let's go into our buildings again, and 174 production, huh? Well, these are already on wooden hulls, so we can have this go to, let's see, 40 man-o-wars? Sure. And then this can produce an additional 76, and that will solve that problem. Now, our electrics industries, I want to be producing, I think, entirely radios, if we can. If we think we can get away from that. Or get away with that, I should say. That is going to absolutely spike the price of telephones and tank the price of radios, so we're going to need to find a mixture here. So I'm going to set just Buenos Aires over to radios. And then I'm not going to change over Minas Gerais at this time, but let's change over Corrientes and La Paz. And perhaps Cordoba as well. That is definitely improving. Bajo Paraguay. Sao Paulo. And maybe Rio de Janeiro as well. Let's get all of these smaller ones over. So basically the only one that isn't is Picardy, which we don't actually control. And Minas Gerais, which we would like to bring up. Actually, that's not too bad, now that I look at it. in theory. Sure. Let's see how that shakes out. Okay, so that'll be fine for now. We don't have any millet farms. That's understood. Everything else here should be pretty unified. We can move our ports down to modern ports, and I want to do that. And then our university can go to analytical philosophy department. Why not? It might as well. Okay. So we've got a bunch of electricity shortages. That's not necessarily shocking. Let's see what else that does. Bornean people are migrating from Brunei. Okay, so at this point, we see a very large price increase of silk. I mean, silk, there's not a lot we can do about because of the price of dyes. So we could work on dropping, or rather raising the price of dyes. We can do an export route, but there's no one to export it to. So for now, that'll have to do. So we're at minus 354k right now. That's understood. And I'm wondering what else we've got going on in our market here. Clothing. We should probably work on some textile mills. Okay. So I'm going to build one in each of these locations, but then I'm going to build... Oh, this is all being built here. I don't actually want this to go here other than just the one. Okay, so now we're going to sort by earnings, and we're going to go to Buenos Aires here, and we're just going to spam these out. Apparently, Buenos Aires is the place to build all of the textile mills. Okay, that sounds good. So we're going to get all of that worked on. We're working on power plants in the background, and that sounds good. The reason why our deficit is so low at this point, or rather so high at this point, kind of low? I mean, it's negative. The reason why we have so much of a deficit at this point is because our private construction isn't constructing very much. Our private construction is having a hard time keeping up with the constructions here. We're waiting for funding to become available. So that's going to take some time. Understood. We have a railway in Amazonas finishing up in 2 weeks here, and these textile mills, by and large, will be done in 11 weeks. So that will be good. What else do we need to work on? I mean, there's not that much else that we really can work on. The price of silk has kind of stabilized as our synthetics plants hired in because of the increased cash there. So that makes sense. Malay people are moving in. Okay, I like it. So we're currently sitting at almost 52 million, and our GDP is doing whatever that is. Honestly, I'm not sure what it is. Is this up? Is it down? It's kind of hard to see. I think it's actually down for the moment. And I'm not shocked about that because of all these electricity shortages. We are working on it. Now, this revolution exists, and for the moment, I'm not too concerned about it. But Laissez-faire is going to need to cruise through here. So this is a diplomatic play in New Granada. This is, of course, our vassal. And we are going to come help the New Granadans. We have no offer of support that they would accept. Okay. I'd like to lean towards New Granada anyway. Okay, cool. Oh, there's a second one there. They're also having a proletarian revolt. Interesting. And in that one, we are automatically in. British East India Company is leaning towards them as well. Okay, that sounds good. So I'm going to 88. How did this get expanded? It must have, when we annexed Bolivia, it must have all put them into here. I guess that's okay. We want this to go up to, so it's 49 right now, 50, 51, 50. So this needs to be 11 in total, like that. So that needs to be up to 60. And then the Lancers are going to need an additional 9. Like that. And then the artillery, we're going to want to upgrade all of them. And we're going to want to recruit in an additional 15. There we go. So something like that. That'll put us at 60, 30, and 30, right? Yeah, that should be correct. This should be okay once this all gets recruited in. So we're going to build all of those. That's going to take a little time. That's understood. We're still working on the textile mills as well. But I want to mobilize these guys, and we're also going to want to put in a commander here and another commander as well. And we're going to tell them to deploy up to this point. Okay. Now, as far as this other situation goes, they don't actually want our help, so there is that. But we can't actually join them at this point. Or can we? No, we can just support them in this diplomatic play. So that looks good, and we could mobilize a second unit here and send them to this front. It seems a little overkill, but I'm going to do it regardless. That seems good for now. I'm keeping an eye on our amount of debt. It's definitely ramping up, no doubt about that, but I would like to get these textile mills finished up. That will be quite profitable for us. No doubt about it. So let's get those going. Amazonian uprising now too. So they had a third uprising. That's interesting. So there are 4 total fronts. This is going to get very expensive. Okay. Well, we're going to head on over to each of these fronts. How many more uprisings can New Granada have? There's this front up over here, I suppose. And we could send a unit over there, but that will again be expensive. Let's go ahead and mobilize them and send them over to this front. So there's 5 total fronts there. That got very significant. Wow, we hit a stall on enacting laissez-faire. That's insane. We were at 80%. Okay, so we can definitely change the progress of the Civil War here. And we're going to do that. Cool. Do we have anybody going to this front right now? I'm not sure. There's a lot of fronts. New Granada wants us to give them control of their own market. No. You can't even control your own people. Why would we trust you to control your own market? Get out of here. I'm going to mobilize another force here. This is an awful lot being mobilized, and we're going to send them over to this front. So it'll take them some time to get there, and this is definitely spicy. But we'll crush them very quickly once these wars actually break out, which will be fairly soon. So that looks good. We are working on those textile mills, and they're making good progress. So tobacco is exceptionally high at this point. We have no sell orders for tobacco. And we have an input goods shortage of... Oh, this is opium. Hang on. Not tobacco. Opium. Yeah, that would make sense. We don't really have a source of opium, do we? Well, we could definitely do something about that. We could do an import route from the British market, and I guess that would be fine. We'll see if that gives us enough opium. That's going to be a problem, however, when we fight Britain. So we might want to change our mobilization options to no longer have the opium requirement, which is here, which actually they don't have. Okay, so I'm going to turn all of these on everything except opium, where possible. No, these are mobilizing up right now. We'll change all of these later, I think. Who is on opium? No one. But we do need opium for field hospitals. Okay, so that is fine for now. Now, we just finished up... What tech was that we just finished? I don't actually know. Okay, well, let's head over and grab, say, compression ignition or maybe oil turbines. That would probably be a good thing to have. Boosting up our oil consumption would be very, very good. So we're going to get these power plants finished up eventually. How many more of these do we have queued up? About 14 pages. That's not too bad. We'll get through that relatively quickly. We're working almost exclusively on that now. So let's get this event finished up. Yep, the war with the Incan uprising has broken out. That is expected. We'll have that crushed very, very quickly here. Wonderful. There's a lot of uprisings up over here. You people are migrating from the Heavenly Kingdom. Sounds good. And war with the proletarian revolt has broken out. All of this will be dealt with very soon. One of those units capitulated. Fantastic. Now there's only 2 remaining. So this one will break out eventually. These will be crushed by the time that happens. I'm quite certain about it. This is the proletarians that we're fighting. Yeah, this is not going to go well for them at all. That's basically fully occupied already. They will capitulate very, very shortly. And yes, I'm aware that we're building up crazy amounts of debt right now. It is absolutely sad. We weren't briefly at full construction there, but there we go. The proletarian revolt is done, and now we're going to deal with the Amazonian uprising. They don't even have an army. So that's already basically done. I don't know why this just reset. They don't have an army, but whatever. There we go. Capitulation completed, and our forces are demobilized. Okay, so now I want to go through and make sure you don't have opium on. I'd like you to be... The 10th Brazilian Army does not have first aid. So we have to deactivate this and activate this. Okay. Very, very wacky. But there we go. That'll be fine. I don't want to give them opium supplements. That is not going to be good. I say as I give them opium supplements. And we're just going to go through the rest of these and make sure that they have flamethrowers, they've got trucks, and I want all of these guys to be actually on field hospitals. That is going to cost us opium. So that is definitely going to be a problem in the future, but we can certainly do that for now. We'll deactivate the first aid for now. Actually, maybe we should keep it on first aid, now that I think about it. Since we have no source of opium, I don't want to have to trade for the opium, especially not trading with Britain for it, when we're planning on fighting Britain fairly shortly. So let's just get our medical support back over onto first aid so that we don't have any reason to have any opium. Because we just don't have any ability to get it. So that seems reasonably okay then. So we'll have this be here, and we'll do all of this. Fantastic. And something like that. Okay. That should do the trick for right now. The mob approaches, huh? We'll try to disperse them. Hey, we succeeded. Fantastic. So Laissez-faire is currently in study, and that is fine for right now. Our textile mills are basically all finished at this point. So let's check to see if that did anything at all to the price of clothing. It has dropped a little bit, but not much, to be honest. Let's check in on our textile mills here. And we can see that our textile mills in La Paz are a little overbuilt. We've got 53 there. I'm actually going to... We can't back off on that? Okay. I was going to get rid of 3 of them because they're not fully employed up, but I guess it's fine for now. So if we look at our textile mills in La Paz, the main issue here is that the price of fine clothes is really, really bad. So we should probably move this over to craftsman sewing. Like so. Input cost of silk is not great. Input cost of electricity is also not great. So that's noted for now. The waffling revolutionary, huh? Okay. Minus 10%? Yeah, we got it. Fantastic. They can't revolt anyway. So for the moment, it seems reasonably fine. So we're working on getting these power plants built. How many more pages of these do we have? We've got slightly over 10. Okay, we're making good progress on that. We're working on the oil turbine, but that's going to be a little bit before that's done. I'm wondering what the situation in power plants here is. Okay. Yeah, we could definitely put in some power plants up here. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely dropping the earnings. That sounds good. Here, I'm not actually going to build anything. That's in our vassal. So we're looking to do something kind of like this. There we go. So that brings all of the power plants negative in earnings for now. And that is, of course, a few additional power plants queued up. That was about 3 pages worth. It's not going to take that long to get those dealt with, so that sounds great. We're minus 400k right now. It's very expensive to be constructing at this pace, and that's not shocking. That is not shocking at all. I want to see, yeah, our investment pool here is just kind of waffling around. Yeah, that's not surprising. We're struggling a bit. So checking in on prices here. Price of silk has dropped. That's good. Price of engines is up a little bit. We may want to get some engines, some motor industries going here. So that would be in La Paz. Actually, let's just sort by earnings. This is going up for now. Now it's starting to saturate the demand here in La Paz. Let's just bring this up to around, I guess we could do plus 30, but I kind of want to bring this up to, not in Antioquia. I kind of want to bring this up to economy of scale cap. So we're going to put this at 44 in La Paz. So that's going to take a little while. We are constructing all of those almost at once. Okay, that's definitely going to take some time to get that all built, but that will be good for us. Ye people are migrating in. Okay. And our number of peasants and unemployment is holding fairly steady right now. That's noted. Our GDP is recovering somewhat from our change around of production methods. So that looks good. How are we doing in other areas? Coal and lead. Okay, we could definitely think about bringing up some coal and lead mines, and I'm going to do that. They're in here somewhere, and I know that they are. Lots and lots of logging camps that we're not too concerned about. Rubber plantations, fishing wharves, coal. Okay, so here's some coal mines. All of these are negative construction efficiency. Okay. So there's 10 coal mines brought up. And then we're also interested in reducing the price of lead, was what we were interested in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. So that will drop the price of lead somewhat. Our men are professionals. I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, so Laissez-faire should pass into voting here. In theory. We've had some really awkward rolls with it. No doubt about that. We had a really good chance the whole way through, but it's been rough. An advance. Man. Okay. Well, we'll boost it up to an 86% chance. It's insane, the rolls that we've gotten on this, but whatever. So, back up to the front of the queue here. Oh, we have some barracks back here. That's interesting. I must have let go of the Alt button. Okay, we'll move these up to the top. And I think I moved a lead mine too. That's okay. We'll leave that lead mine there. We know that we do have a bit of an issue with our lead mines. So we're going to have lead mines done in a couple of weeks here, coal mines shortly thereafter, and we're working on these motor industries and then power plants. And then, yeah, we're definitely going backwards on our construction here, but that is reasonably fine. We're looking... Oh, this GDP is coming up quickly. Okay, that looks good. I'm very happy to see that. So we've got some timber in here, too, that we could bring up. Okay, that's definitely fine. We can go down here, and we can move up some of those logging camps. It's not like we have a shortage of those. I'm looking for one, hopefully, where we have good construction efficiency, like here. Let's move up all of those. They'll build nice and quickly. Wonderful. So back to the front we go here. We're currently at 6 infamy. That is noted. And let's go to 2, 1. Yeah. So I want to sit here. Only 4 weeks until these logging camps are done. Cool. That should be pretty decent. Kindly burn this letter, huh? Momentum to Brazilian integralist action looks good. I want to check in on this election here. I think the intelligentsia, yeah, they formed the Liberating Party. So they left the Brazilian integralist action. I love it. So we're going to be able to coalition with the trade union and the intelligentsia again. That's very, very good for us. Now, if we check in on our number of radicals, our radicals have been going, or rather, our loyalists have been going upwards. Our radicals have been holding even. Noted. Covert agitation here. That seems fine. And we'll continue to keep that revolution progress low as we work on Laissez-faire. So these logging camps are done now, as are those lead mines. We're going to get these coal mines done in just 2 weeks here. And the motor industries are progressing nicely as well. So that looks excellent. We have some electricity shortages still. Market access in Antofagasta, and we should probably take a look at that. Yeah, this needs to be boosted up by at least one railroad. So that looks fine. Somali people migrating from Ethiopia. Okay, that sounds good. Lots of people saying things look awful good here. I don't know what these revolutionaries are talking about. Actually, I do. They're talking about preserving agrarianism, which we can't do because we want to get laissez-faire. But we're rolling very awkwardly on the laissez-faire. Now, we're going to run out of money eventually, but we can pay that back very, very easily by just pausing our construction. I would rather not pause our construction, of course. But we can certainly do that. And once we get laissez-faire, I think things are going to get a little bit better for us on that front. Sidama people also migrating from Ethiopia to Mendoza. I like it. Our population is going up very rapidly at this point. These guys have gone up to extreme radicalism, but we finally passed into voting for laissez-faire, so hopefully that gets put through. That would be nice. And all these motor industries in La Paz are making good progress. We're building all of them now, and some of them will be finishing in 2 weeks. So checking in on our market prices here. Okay, we've definitely seen a reduction in the cost of some of this. That's good. So we're currently working on the engines. The coal we're a ways away on still, so we could definitely get some additional coal here. Let's go to here. There we go. I'm going to move up every coal mine that we have in our queue here. There we go. And we could do the same with our lead mines. We don't have all that many lead mines in the queue, I don't think. So let's take a look here. There's a few. I'm just going to move a couple up. Okay, so that'll be fine for now. The party favorites, huh? Sure. Free trade party. That's not necessarily what we want, but let's see what we've got here. So we can get a reform here. It would be 60 with the intelligentsia. Okay. It's not great. We're going to lose some legitimacy probably from laissez-faire, I think. Actually, maybe not. We'll see. Yeah, reprimand the general and reject the plan. That'll be fine. So you can see at this point, our deficit is improving, and that's very good. I'm happy to see that. We're down to 106 pages of construction now, and that's looking great. So we're getting all of this worked on. It will be a little bit before we're ready to declare on Britain, though. We got to get ourselves positive here. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Kintogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.